Hello everyone, it's me Linda. Welcome to my channel, Linny P's Place. Hope everyone's doing well today. I am, and I started making these little card boxes last night, and I needed to make one more this morning, so I thought I would turn the camera on and show you how to make these. Now I made these for Christmas presents, but you can make them for any occasion at all simply by changing the paper that you use. So anyway, I thought I would show you how I made them. I'll show you inside one of them, and it has a little box in it, a little gift box, and you can fill it with candy or ephemera or whatever you can think of. You could put gift card in there. You could do all kinds of things with it. So I thought that I would just show you how I made these. So I'm going to put these to the side, and I'll tell you what you need. The box itself, you just need 2 pieces of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and it needs to be kind of a sturdy cardstock because you don't want your box to be too flimsy. So you'll need 2 pieces of that to make the box, the gift box itself, the card and all. And if you want to embellish it, you know, put some paper or something on it, you'll need, or at least I used, 2 12 by 12 pieces of scrapbook paper. And then I had some, and I've already cut this to the size I need for my box. I had some digitals, and I've had them for a few years, and I don't remember where they came from, whose they are. They're from someone on Etsy, and I apologize that I can't remember whose. But anyway, you don't have to use digitals. You can use anything you want to as long as it's the size that you need. And then I use some lace around the edges here, just to give it a little extra prettiness, I suppose. And then I use some seam binding as a closure. And so that is it. That is all you need. Of course, you need your glue and that sort of thing. So anyway, let's get started. And I'm going to go ahead and warn you that I am not anybody that really does tutorials very well. I'm not very good at it. But I'm going to just let you watch as I make this, and I'll explain what I'm doing. And if you really want to make one and you need more clear instructions, I will leave the link below to the girl that I learned how to do this from. I did this many, many years ago. There was a very talented girl on YouTube, and her videos are still on there, but I don't think she's active anymore. I think she just, I don't know why she doesn't do it anymore. She's so talented. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. Anyway, her name was Arlene, and her channel was, I think, Butterfly Kisses or something like that. But I'm going to leave the link to her tutorial for this card gift box tutorial. Okay, so let's get started. All right, the first thing I have to do is make the base of my card. And to do that, I'm going to use this 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. And the 8.5 piece, this side I'm leaving. But I'm going to cut the 11 side to 8 7/8 of an inch. 8 7/8. Okay. Whoops. Let me pull up my sleeves. I got my pajamas on. They're catching. Okay. All right. And now I'm going to move this out of the way and get my scoreboard. And at the 8 7/8 side of this, which will be this way, I'm going to score at 4 inches. And then I'm going to turn it around and score at 4 inches again. And this let me move this out of the way. I don't have a lot of room here to work. So bear with me. We're just going to burnish this down. And this creates our card. Okay, so now we're going to cut this second piece of cardstock to make the box, and this is going to make the top and the bottom of the box. So this is the 8 1/2 side. We're going to leave that side, and let me think a minute. Okay, no, first we're going to cut this to 5 1/4 inches. 5 1/4. We need to cut this in half. So we're cutting the 11-inch side here. Okay. Now, okay, this is going to be 8 1/2, and we're going to score it at 8. Let's see, where we're going to cut. Let me think a minute. We're going to cut this 5 1/4 by 8 7/8. Okay. We're going to go here 8 7/8. Is that going to be right? Let me think a minute. Yep, 8 7/8, right here. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm going to confuse you. I know I am. We're cutting this at 7 inches. I'm sorry. I have to think. Okay. So for the inner box, and we're doing the bottom of the box. So scratch what I said before. It is going to be 5 1/4, which I have, 5 1/4. And then we're going to cut at 7 inches. That's got a little bent spot. I'm going to turn it around and do it on this side. Okay. 7 inches. I say measure a bunch of times and cut once. So there you go. Okay, that's it. All right, now this is the bottom of the box, and we're going to put a B so we know it's the bottom. I have to put a B or I'll be confused. Okay, I'm probably already confused you to no end. Okay, now for this, this side needs to be 5 1/4 plus 1/16, which will be this little bitty line right there. And these are Arlene's measurements, so that's what I'm going by. Okay, so there we go. 5 1/4 plus 1/16. And now we're going to turn this around and we're going to do 7 plus 1/16. This needs to be just a tiny bit bigger so that the box lid will fit over the bottom of the box. Okay, am I right? Yep, just checking. One more time before I cut. Okay. So I have this much left over from the box itself. Okay, that's the top. Okay. We are finished with this for now. I don't think we need it anymore. Okay, now we need to score. And we're going to score on both the top and the bottom at 3/4 inches all the way around. Okay, so there's the top. Now we're going to do the bottom. All right, and we're done with this. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to cut on the long side, and we're going to cut, and I have to hold this up where the light hits it. My better scissors. Is this them? Cut there. And you know how to put this little slit in, right? Like that. Okay, I'm going to pause the camera and I'm going to do this all the way around on all 4 corners of my bottom and my top, and then I'll come back because it'll take way too long if I keep you here for everything, and so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. These are both cut. And this is the 7-inch side here. And the 7 1/16 side over here. So this is the top, this is the bottom. And you notice how the slits, and I'm only telling you this because I did it wrong the first time. I put my slits on this side, on the what you call the short side. And they should be on the long side. So I'll just emphasize that for you so you don't do the same thing that I did when I started making this the first time. Now, because the top of the box, you can see through it, that needs to be covered with the paper, if whatever you're going to use to cover it with. So I'm going to put the bottom aside and get this top piece lined up and down before I go any further, because I have to cut my window out. Now, if you don't have a if you don't have a die cutting machine, you don't need that because you can do this without it. And you probably already know how to do that, but I will tell you just in case. So what you do is like cut an X. Well, first you got to figure out where you're going to put your window, which, like I said, I'm using a die, and it's from this pack. Now, before I used a more decorative one, but for these boxes that I'm doing now, I'm going to use this square, or this rectangle rather. And the main reason for that is because I can't find the one I used before. So for all of these gift boxes that I'm making now, I'm using this one. I want to make sure that it's fairly straight. Doesn't have to be just exactly perfect because, you know, these things are handmade. Now, I'm going to go to my die cut machine, my Big Shot, and I'm going to cut this window out. And then when I come back, I'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I have cut my window out. Now, what I was going to tell you before is if you don't have a die cut machine, you can, on your paper here, when you figured out where you want your window to be, then you can cut an X across here, and then you can take your scissors and cut all the way around, and you'll have the same thing that I have. But I have this, so I might as well use it, right? Now, we need to put a piece of acetate in here, but I don't know if you really call this acetate, but what it was one of those clear envelopes that not an envelope, more like I guess a pocket. It's those that it had rings on it. You put it in a notebook, and then, you know, you put your stuff in protectors, sheet protectors, that's what you call them. And that's what I'm using for this. So I have it already cut because I cut a few when I cut for my other two boxes that I've already done. So I already have this ready. And I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac for this. I'm just going to put a little glue all the way around it on all four sides. And I'm not putting very much. I actually have the tip of my glue bottle on the cardstock so that I can squeeze it and kind of spread it around at the same time. It also controls how much I get on there because I'm a little bit heavy-handed with the glue. Okay, then I'm just going to center this best I can. I'm going to lay it down on there. And I'm just going to rub it with this cloth. I use my old dish cloth, my dish towels. I use the old ones. I cut them like into fours. And then I use them in my craft room for things like this. Okay, so there's the top of the box. Now we will fold in our, get my fold these in. And try to get these as straight as you can, because we don't want our box to be wonky. Okay, now going to fold these in just like this. Let me come in a little. I don't need to be out so far now that I'm through with all my cutting. Be able to see a little better. Just going to fold this in and then pull this up. And what I'm going to use, you can use glue if you want to. For me, glue just is too messy for this. So what I'm using is some score tape, which is really just double-sided tape. If you have some double-sided tape, then you're good. You don't need to have the exact same one that I have, but I've had this for a very long time because it's just what we used to use a very long time ago, and I still have a lot of it. So I'm just going to use the score tape. And I want to get my corners as even as possible. It doesn't cover all of it, but that's okay. It won't make any difference. Mostly what I'm concerned about is making sure I don't have anything hanging over on the top of my box. Or if anything's going to be hanging over, I want it to be on the inside so that it doesn't stick to anything. You know what I'm saying? But when I use tape, I usually have a bit of a mess. So to me, this is easier to control. But if you're not as messy with your glue, I said tape, but I meant glue. If you're not as messy with your glue as I am, then by all means, use your glue. Years ago, glue wasn't as good as it is now. That's why we used a lot of score tape, because glue didn't seem to do the job. But they've improved all that in the last 10 plus years, I guess. And so it's strictly because of my messiness that I'm using this. Glue will work just fine. And be quicker too. Okay. Where's my little picker thing? I had it here earlier. But I don't know what I did with it now. Oh, here it is. Sometimes it's hard to get this off, so need something to do it with. Okay. I have to remember that I zoomed in, so I've got to stay within the shot. All right. Now I'm going to fold these in one at a time. I'm going to pick it up so I can see what I'm doing. Get it nice and even. And I put mine, what did I do? put it on the wrong side. Yeah, I put it on the wrong side. So I'm just going to do it this way and it'll be just fine. I should have been on the outside, but I put it on the inside. So there you go. Can try so hard to get everything perfect and it's not. Okay, that's all right. It'll work. Okay, but you don't do that. Turn your box over so you see where your decorative paper's at and put your glue or your double-sided tape on here. Don't put it on the inside like I did, because you really should fold these in and this up so that you don't see these, but you can see mine because I did it wrong. So there you go. I'm not changing it, that's for sure. It'll be fine. Probably nobody will even notice. I'll be sure not to do that on the bottom. I will say it makes it easier to close it up and get it even because you can butt this right up against the... And if I was going to decorate the sides of the box, it wouldn't matter anyway. It would be better, but I'm not decorating the sides of the box, so anyway, there you go. There's the top. Not perfect since I did that, but it's okay. It'll be fine. Now, if you want, you can ink around the edges, which I think I will on this one since my box is light. I think I will ink just a little bit around the edges. And of course, it's not perfect. And there was a time when, because I put these on the wrong side, I would have made a whole new top. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing it. I'm trying to get out of that. Although it's hard, you know, and you that are perfectionists, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, now it's time to do the bottom. So here's the piece that I cut to go on the bottom. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to glue this down. Okay. This time, I'm putting this tape on this side where my scrapbook paper is. You don't have to watch me do this. I'm going to pause the camera. I'm going to finish this, and then I'll be back. I just wanted you to see where you need to put your tape. Don't put it where I did for my top. Okay, I'm going to pause the camera. I'm going to finish putting this on, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I have my tape exactly where it needs to be. On the outside where the decorative paper is. Okay, now going to build the bottom of the box. Oh, before we put the box together, I just remembered something. On the back, we need to go ahead and put, and this is where you will need, it's best to have double-sided tape. If you don't have double-sided tape, then you can wait till you're ready to attach your box to your card, but if you have double-sided tape, it's best to use it. Okay, so and I have some very wide double-sided tape. And when I bought this, I wondered, when will I ever need this? And most of the time I don't. I do have the 1/4 inch size, which is what I use most of the time. But I had this out to use on here, so why not? Now I need another piece, but I don't need that much. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball how much I need. I'm going to cut it. It's very sticky, so you can tear it very easily, which is what I'm about to do. I'm going to just cut off a piece right here. It's so sticky. But the one good thing about it is when it's down, it's not coming up. Not without a significant amount of damage to whatever it is you're doing. So, and then I can just stick that right back on here, and it'll be just fine until the next time I need to use it. So there we go. Okay, get this down. And I'm not going to take this up. I'm not going to take this off right now because I'm not ready to put it on. It's just that when it's time to put it on, it's already on here, and it makes it a little bit easier to put it on than when the box is already done. So let's just get the box together, the bottom of the box, and we'll set it aside. Guess what I did? I did the same thing again. Okay, you know what? You can put your tape wherever you want. It'll work. I forgot. This is on the inside, so it really needed to be on the outside. Oh boy, you better go watch Arlene. She's much better at this than I am. So, but I'm going with what I've got here. It'll be okay. Like I said before, it's easier to get the box together very snugly by having the tape this way, but it's not the right way. But it's going to work. It's going to be fine. This old lady just can't handle too much in my mind. I get confused. Okay. There we go. It's going to be all right. I would have rather it had been the right way, but this will be fine, provided that it fits. So let's see if it fits. It fits. Perfect. So that's one thing that's good. I got it right as far as the measurements go. It's good, huh? Okay. Now, I probably should have at least put some paper on the outside. It would have been prettier because this box is white. The other ones are, you know, these are colored and they're also put together the right way. So I don't know. I may come back and do that. Maybe. I don't know if I will or not. Anyway, we're done with the box, so we can set that aside. Got double-sided tape, so it's ready to go. Now, it's time to decorate the card. Well, let's see if I can do that without making too big of a boo-boo. All right, this is the front of the card. Yes, okay. I'm going to get this down. See, I had all these already prepared and ready for this so that it wouldn't take so long. So there's that one. Then we have this little small one here that goes on. This was really cute scrapbook paper. It's old because I don't make many Christmas crafts. I just never have. I don't make very many holiday crafts, but so I've had this paper for a long time, and it's from My Mind's Eye, and it's called Cozy Christmas. And I've almost used it all up. And the reason that I'm using this side instead of the other side is because it had to be oriented in a certain way, and I would have needed 3 pieces of 12 by 12 paper, and I only had 2. So, and I did ink around all these pieces. So, I think this is called Going Shopping. This particular page was called Going Shopping. But I've been using this paper for, I don't know, a long, long time. Back when I used to make some Christmas things. But I just don't make them anymore. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the inside. And I'm not doing the back. I said I was doing the back, but I'm not doing the back. Okay. I'm not putting a piece on the back because I ran out. It's hard for me to see my score line. And I didn't want to ink it, so. Okay. And now this goes down here. right, and then we have the one more piece to put down right here. And also by using this double-sided scrapbook paper, you know, the double-sided scrapbook paper is usually a lot thicker, more sturdier than just the single-sided. So it does add some little bit more strength and durability, or whatever you want to call it, to your card. Okay, now, oh, I did cover the whole thing, didn't I? Okay, good. I didn't remember that I did that. See, that's old age for you. You forget things very easily. Is that down all the way? I think so. Okay, now, this goes here on the front, just like that. So I'm going to put that down next. And the reason I'm using the Fabri-Tac is because I don't want any of my paper to be warpy, you know. I don't want it to warp and not be even or straight. And Fabri-Tac doesn't really happen with that. I could have used glue stick, but then again, sometimes that warps too. So this is going here. Oh, guess what I forgot to do? Is it dry yet? No. Oh, kinda. Let me get this under there. I got to put my ribbon under there. Got to have a way to tie it, right? Because it's not going to stay together if I don't. So, I need to put that there. And I got to get some glue under there. Oh, come on. I tell you, if my head wasn't attached, I'm sure it would be fell off and lost by now. I feel like I've already lost my mind. I'm going to lose my head next. All right, let me see if I can stuff this under there. Where's the end of it? I thought I had it a minute ago. Here it is. All right. Y'all don't do what I do. Do it the right way. All right, let me get that started under there, and then I'll push it under. There we go. That should hold. Now I'm going to cut this off about there. And now I got to turn this over. Do the same thing. This has been on a while. It might be dry. I think it is. Let me see if I can get it open with this. Very carefully. Did I go far enough? I like to do things the hard way. Have you noticed that? I like to do things the hard way. Whoops. Can I get that? Oh, my goodness. Get it open so I can squeeze some glue under there. Am I getting any? Let me see. What a mess. Can't see what I'm doing. Good enough. I think I got plenty. Okay, now Let me find the end again. Here we go. And use this. I don't want to poke a hole in nothing. Get this started under there. Pick this up. See why I don't craft a lot on my videos. It's better if I just show you what I've made after I make it, because now it's down. I can't get it up. There we go. Okay, come here. Now it's stuck on the end of that. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but you really don't want to. I'm just making a mess. Can't get it in there. There. Now I need to push it under there a little ways further so that it doesn't come out. Is that good? I'm going to say that's going to be okay. I'm not sure if it's good or not. I don't think it's far enough in there. There it went in. Okay. What a mess. Okay, there we go. Don't forget to put your ribbon in, okay? Or whatever you're going to use to tie it up with. Doesn't have to necessarily be ribbon. It can be something else. But just don't forget it, like I just did, or you'll have a mess. All right. Now, okay. That's good. Now, I'm going to add some trim around the edge of only the front. And you figure out this is the front. Okay, so I'm going to measure it to what I want. Now I'm going to miter the corners, and I'll show you how I do that if you want to know. If you don't want to know, well, I won't know that you don't want to know, and I'm going to show you anyway. Got the wrong scissors. That's okay. Okay, so I need 2 pieces. Let me get this off. I need 2 pieces this length. Now, if I was just going to go all the way around it, I wouldn't cut this, but I'm going to miter the corners, so I'm cutting it. So I need 2 about that length. And then I need 2 about this length. Okay. Put that back on there. All right. Now that that's done, I can glue this down. Make sure I got the right side to put it in the sun to see. I don't have my light on in here. I need it on, but I'm not going to get up and turn it on. All right, let me clean this off a little bit. Okay. Whoops. Butterfingers. Okay, now I'm not going to go all the way to the end here. I'm going to stop about up here because I want to be able to get my scissors under there so that I can miter the corners. You probably know how to do this, but just in case there's somebody that doesn't, I will to show you. Okay, now I've got this one down. Now I'm going to pause and finish putting the lace around the edges, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how I miter my corners. Okay? All right, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I am back, and I have got all of these down and mitered them, and all these corners, and I saved one so I could show you how I do it. Now there may be other ways to do it, I don't know. This is just the way I figured out that works for me. You make sure that your lace is crossed and even, just like this. It's not glued down. Remember I said don't glue from about here up, so it's not glued. See, you got this little area right here in the corner that's not glued. So you lay one down. It doesn't matter which one you that you do first, whichever one you want, and make sure it's all straight. And then you put your scissors right in the corner. And you get them through on the other side, and then you cut. Now I have to say that it's a whole lot easier if you're cutting something that's not bumpy like mine. I have little ridges on here, and it also helps if you're using just a really straight trim and not one that's scalloped on the edges. Okay, now if you need to do any adjusting, you go ahead and do it once you figure out where your lace is going to come together. Now mine is coming together quite well. I don't need to do any adjusting, or I don't need to cut any more off. So I'm going to glue down the bottom first. Just like that. And now I'm going to glue on the top, making sure that I get a little bit of glue on this piece of lace right there, and then just lay it down and it'll come together just like that. And I'll hold it up where you can see. That's the one I just did right there. You see that? That way you don't have any big lumps of trim in the corners. It's not bulky. Okay. Now I don't always do it that way, and I noticed that this lace is very old lace, and it has a little bit of stain on it, but that's okay. I'm all right with that. All right. So now the outside is done, and we're ready to do the inside. Oh, we got one more thing on the outside. This on the back gets, where is it? Gets this. And it says, if it was a Hallmark, it wouldn't look this good. And it's this stamp I have right here. And it's by My Sentiments Exactly is the name of it. And I got it from Hobby Lobby, and it's been a very long time ago. I don't know if you can find it anymore. Probably not, because I've had it for over 10 years. get my glue down so I can get it to come out. Okay. I'm going to put it right here, and it will help to anchor the ribbon a little more also. Okay, so that's the back. Now we're ready to finish the inside. So I have this, and I use the same sentiment for every one of my cards. The green just seemed to match really well, so I thought I'd use it for all of them. Now, Arlene made her boxes open this way, but I wanted mine to open this way. When I made some the first time, they opened this way. I don't have them anymore because I gave them away. They were for Christmas presents, and they had candy in them, but this time I'm not putting any candy. I also spent a little more time with the decorating. That I didn't do that this time. Okay, so, yep. All right, now, I'm going to take the top off. And, of course, just like when you make a journal, you have to make sure that you leave enough space so that your box will close. So we have to make sure we're doing that. And just to make sure that I'm getting it in the right spot, I'm going to put a little mark. The reason for that is because once this score tape touches this, I won't be able to get it up without damaging everything. So I'm just going to use this friction pen, then I can erase it if I need to. Now, if you're using glue, you won't need to do this because you'll be able to move it around a little bit before it sticks, but I can't do that. Make sure this is right. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to take the score tape off. Or I'm going to take the bottom off of it anyway. Starting to get some sunlight coming through, so it's a good thing I'm about finished here. It's going to be on my desk in a minute. You can see it when I move. As long as I keep my back over here, I can keep it off of the desk. All right, now I got to make sure I get it lined up just perfect. Okay, that's good. A little higher up than I wanted it to be, but that's okay. It'll be fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. I keep telling myself that. Put my top back on it and close it up and tie it. And there you go. So here are all of the ones that I made. So I hope you enjoyed this little crafty time with me, and maybe you learned something. If you didn't do anything else, you learned what not to do when you make something like this. So I am going to show you what I put in these. I have one that I put stuff in already. So I'll show you. It looks really, really cute. If you have candy in these those, or tea, you can put tea in them, which I could have did tea. I might take these out and put tea in them instead. But what I filled this up with was Tim Holtz embellishments. But I might put a tea in them. I'm not sure. I didn't think about tea before. I do like opening up and seeing that little girl there. I think that is cute. And I may put maybe a little girl on the top and fill them with tea. I don't know. I'll have to think about it, because I just now thought about putting tea in them. I didn't use candy because the ladies I'm giving these to, a few of them are diabetic, and so I didn't want to put tea in them, and put candy in them and them not be able to eat it. So there you go. Those are my gift box cards. So thanks everybody for stopping by, spending time with me. And I hope that you, sorry about that, I hope that you enjoyed this. And please, if you decide to make one, let me know. Like I said before, I'll leave Arlene's link below. So take care of yourselves. Be happy, be well, be safe, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye for now.